Good morning on this Sunday morning. I'm Kevin Rader, back again with Indiana Insiders, with Robin Winston, Democrat, and Republican Jen Hollowell, and Dr. Laura Wilson from the University of Indianapolis. First of all, before we delve into what we've just heard for the last 40 minutes, I want to say a word about Governor Eric Holcomb has now requested that all flags be flown at half-staff because of what happened at Tree of Life Synagogue yesterday. I should say that the interviews that we did were taped on Friday, and that's why we didn't discuss it, but I want to discuss it a little bit here now. Robin, let's start with you. You're from outside of Pittsburgh. Where's your heart today?
My heart's obviously with the people in Pittsburgh, and particularly Squirrel Hill. Mayor Peduto was on television this morning. I know that area very well. I don't know that particular synagogue, but it's an enclave of people that are Jewish. It's a sad day, not only for the city of Pittsburgh, state of Pennsylvania, but also for our nation. So we all mourn with the citizens back there.
Jen?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking, and unfortunately we've seen an increase in some of this activity. I do think that the president, who was here yesterday, gave some very good words and had a rabbi come up to the FFA event so that he could speak about it, and I think that's helpful, but it's absolutely heartbreaking, and you know, we just have to find a way to end this kind of tragedy in our country.
Yeah, I must say it was a heart-stopping moment as well when the president and the rabbi and the pastor that he had brought in all said their prayers, and it was a moment there that I thought really stopped everything for a moment, where people in this 12,000 people in this auditorium, or Banker's Life I should say, were really one.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best speeches he's given. His thoughts on that and sharing those with people, it's really important. And when you see places like synagogues, churches, schools being hit, they're particularly vulnerable because you shouldn't have a mass shooting anywhere, but places where you expect to be safe. I thought the president gave really great remarks on that. I appreciated him bringing in people of faith to give speeches there as well. I thought that was important.
Excuse me, Dr. Laura, you hate after something like that to then switch and know you talk politics, but that is why we're here this morning. So where are we in this Senate race, Robin?
Well, I'd just like to say one last thing. We're lowering flags in our state today. The governor has called for a hate crimes bill in our state. I hope that the legislature will heed that and that we will finally get a hate crimes bill. We had a swastika painted on a synagogue up in Carmel, which is bad enough. We've had other crimes based on race and on religion and sexual orientation. I hope we get a hate crimes bill through.
Jen?
No, I agree, and I almost mentioned it. The governor has come out for that. He did a few months ago very strongly, and frankly, that's, I think, leadership that we need that can help get it through the legislature. It's been a tough issue for Republicans for a variety of years because of difference of opinion about it, but I do think that now is probably the best chance that we have ever had to get that bill passed.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Indiana one of the very few that does not have a hate crimes bill?
Only one of 5.
Exactly, yeah. And so this would be a really important thing for our state. And now you at least see the public rallying behind it and saying, this is why we need to have something like that. I'm really proud that our governor's come out with it, and I hope our state legislature can pass that.
Hopefully it's something we can work on in a bipartisan manner. Robin, let's shift now to the Senate race.
Well, we got less than about 2 weeks to go, obviously. You're going to see a lot of ads on television. You're going to see a lot of weird ads on television, I think. Joe Donnelly has staked his point. Last week was the 50th bill signed into law since he's been a United States Senator, 28 under Donald Trump. I'm not working off talking points here. Those are facts. And the other fact is that the latest bill benefits Eli Lilly and what they're doing in market research. So he's going to continue to talk about what's good for Indiana. Other people are going to talk about his record.
Is it working?
I believe that, well, first off, Kevin, in a state that Donald Trump won by 19 points, for Joe Donnelly either to be ahead or within 1 or 2 points means to me that it's working, because it shouldn't be that competitive if Trump won the state by 19 and Braun is running 100% with support of Donald Trump.
Jen?
Well, number one, obviously this is a Republican state. The president won here by 19 points, as Robin stated, and Senator Donnelly is now trying to run as a Republican, so that tells you that the president is still very popular here. But I think at the end of the day, Hoosiers want someone that they can rely on to consistently vote for Hoosiers, and Senator Donnelly has not done that. Mike Braun has done a very good job in this campaign, I think, of making his case, talking about his perspective as an outsider, as a businessman who can bring leadership and kind of a new outlook to the United States Senate, and that he will be a reliable vote for the president and his agenda. Senator Donnelly talks about having voted with President Trump X amount of times, but when we really need his vote, when they are tough and close votes, Senator Donnelly votes with Democrats.
And
that is going to be his
You don't
biggest
necessarily
problem.
want a rubber stamp, though, do we? I mean, he voted for Gorsuch. He also says he's for the wall.
I don't call it a rubber stamp. I'm talking about a consistent, reliable vote. When Hoosier conservatives, Hoosiers in general, voted for this president and his agenda by 19 points, Hoosiers support Judge Brett Kavanaugh, Hoosiers are opposed to Obamacare, and Senator Donnelly votes with Democrats, not with Hoosiers, when it comes to these votes.
Kevin, look how they have been in their two big issues. Remember the thing called tax cuts? That was supposed to be the big issue they were going to trumpet out the entire campaign. I haven't heard that in any Mike Braun ads really talking about that a lot. I've heard it from third parties, but I've not heard it. But you know why? Because it's not benefiting the middle-class people of Indiana that Joe Donnelly works for every day. The second one is health care. I mean, they have changed their entire ad campaign. At first it was, I'm going to join with those attorney generals in the Texas lawsuit and be against Affordable Care Act, which includes pre-existing conditions. And then all of a sudden it started resonating, it's not working. That's why your race is close, because Joe Donnelly's talking about regular issues that matter with Hoosiers. You covered last week before we began the show a brand new VA center coming to Muncie. That's once again a U.S. Senator delivering. While he may not be a cannon machine, which will be made abroad, he is not going to be a copy machine for the president. He's going to do what's right for the people of Indiana.
Jen, you want to add one more thing before we go to break?
What I would say is Senator Donnelly is like one of those friends who is really great to have around for the good times, but when it comes time to pay the bill or clean up the mess or somebody to help you move, he's not there with us. He's not there when we really need his vote. And that is what this election is going to be about.
Dr. Laura, when we come back, I want to talk to you about independents and the role they're going to play in this little waltz that both of these two are doing with their own parties.
And undecideds, too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we come back.